Greetings, my beautiful soul. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've been here, and it's because the last year, 2025, I've gone through a lot of transformation, and it wasn't time to share about that yet, but I feel it's the time now. Also, happy fall equinox. Today is actually the exact equinox here in Vancouver. Sunrise at 7:04 and sunset at 7:04. So it's a powerful day. Before I start, I want to acknowledge that the land I'm on is on the traditional ancestral unceded land of the Musqueam, the Squamish, and the Tsleil-Waututh First Nations. And I'm honored to be a guest here. I'm honored for the support, love, guidance of the ancestors of this land, of the creatures of this land. This morning, I was greeted by raven and owl. So it's a powerful time. So in this video, I want to talk about EMDR, which is a form of therapy that I've been doing since the end of January, particularly from January to May. And I've tried a lot of therapies, and this was probably the most powerful one. And I kind of combined it with my shamanic work, so it was even more powerful. And so EMDR stands for eye movement, desensitization, and reprogramming. And it basically works to stimulate it's a bilateral stimulation of your right and left brain hemispheres. And it can be done through eye movement, why it's called that, where you follow the therapist's finger. And so your eyes are going back and forth, stimulating the two hemispheres. It can be done by tapping by yourself here or on your legs. It can be done by sounds. So often on the internet they have videos which uses sounds and a moving ball. It was developed by Francine Shapiro, and basically what it does is when you experience trauma, there is a disruption in the communication between your two hemispheres in the corpus callosum, the area between the hemispheres. And so it's very hard for you to process the emotions with like verbal processing. And so often you might be triggered by something, but you can't put it into words, or you can't, because also the right hemisphere is related to the present moment, to emotions. And so whatever you're experiencing, whatever is triggering you, your past trauma, feels like it's in the present moment, which it's not. And what happens is in the EMDR, you recall so for me, because I can go into meditative state very easily, I just allowed my mind body to decide where to begin. And a lot of my reprocessing was around ancestral trauma, past life trauma, and early childhood trauma. And early childhood, because it's a pre-verbal time, again, it's even more potent because you were never able to process it properly. And so you recall the scene of the trauma, you do the stimulation. I love the raven. So great. You do the stimulation and it shifts. The vision shifts. Okay, for me it was very visual because I'm a visual clairvoyant. But it could be different for you. Anyway, it really, really helped a lot with specifically I was working on trauma that evoked fear. And I didn't realize how many origins it had, this particular issue. And I would say what I experienced it as is, before that I was working with my therapist, going into meditation, somatic work, so connecting to visions by myself. So I was basically doing the same thing, but adding this bilateral stimulation, and also drumming. I did drumming. At first, I just did drumming before and after the session, just to create the sacred space. But sometimes when things were not shifting, I would drum. And nowadays, I often drum during the whole session. And this is what connects me to spirit, and I see more things this way. So it just, like, to me, it's like therapy on steroids is what I would call it. It just amplifies whatever you're processing. So yeah, so in a way that I would process with her somatically and in meditation and with drumming. When we did the bilateral stimulation, it just amplified it. And the processing is faster, but it's also very intense. So a warning, it's really good to do EMDR after you've done a lot of work on yourself already, because it can definitely be very intense. And for me, I often needed 2 sessions to heal one traumatic event, like one past life event or early childhood trauma or something. And in between the 2 sessions, things were challenging. So you might want to schedule your sessions close together. Mine were every week, so it was hard. But yeah, definitely, I think your therapist would, or the EMDR therapist would assess you to see if you're a good candidate, if if you have, like, a support system or, like, practices in place. Like, I have a lot of practices to help me integrate things, and I understand the process. So yeah, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to write a comment or send me an email. I'm happy to answer. I'm happy to recommend my therapist. She's amazing. You can inquire about her. Yeah, and if anyone has experience with EMDR, please share it in the comments. I'd be very happy to hear from you. And if you want to work with me doing healing work, shamanic work, sound healing, and energy healing work, online or in person, please reach out. I'm happy to support you. Thank you for watching.